Spring break was supposed to be the best week of my life. Sunshine, beaches, and freedom from college stress. Instead, it started with betrayal, theft, and me crying in a hotel room with all my money gone. But what that frat jerk didn't know was that karma was waiting in the form of my boyfriend and his brother. And let's just say, their revenge cost him a lot more than the $300 he stole from me. If you've ever had someone steal from you and wished you could watch justice hit them where it hurts, this story will give you life. Smash that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying paybacks you'll hear today. Alright, let's rewind. I was a sophomore in college. I had a boyfriend at the time. He was from South America, came from money, and he and his brother were the type who knew how to have a good time, but also how to protect their own. That year, they booked one of those classic spring break trips to South Padre Island, you know the kind. Buses loaded with college kids, hotel packages, the whole party scene. Problem was, the buses were sold out before I could get a seat, but my roommate came to the rescue, or so I thought. She said her boyfriend and some of his fraternity brothers were driving down in a truck and offered me a seat. I figured, why not? A free ride, right? Big mistake. From the moment I got in that truck, I could tell who was cool and who wasn't. 3 of the guys were fine, friendly, laid back, just normal. But the owner of the truck, the one driving us down, his nickname in the fraternity was literally Drugs. That should tell you everything. He refused to drive, sat in the back the whole trip getting stoned, acting like the king of the world while everyone else took turns at the wheel. I actually ended up driving part of the way myself, just to keep us moving. When we finally got to South Padre, my boyfriend was there waiting. I hopped out, handed Drugs a crisp $100 bill for gas, told him to have a great week, and walked away without looking back. I thought that was the end of it, but later that night, my heart dropped. I opened my suitcase and every single dollar I had, $300 cash, which was my entire budget for the week, was gone, stolen. I sat on the bed, tears rolling down my face, because I knew exactly who it was. It wasn't the 3 decent guys, it was Drugs, the stoner jerk who never lifted a finger. My boyfriend saw me crying, and he didn't hesitate. He wrapped his arm around me and said, "Don't worry, I'll cover you." But the anger in his voice, that was different. And when his brother heard what happened, he was just as furious. Fast forward almost a week. We're out at a bar, having fun, when I see them pull up. My stomach twisted into knots. My hands were shaking. I told my boyfriend, "Let's just go. Please, I don't want trouble." He nodded, but then asked me one simple question. "Which truck is theirs?" I pointed it out. He smiled, not a kind smile, a cold, knowing one. He told me to wait inside, and he and his brother slipped out the back. I sat there, sipping my drink, praying they wouldn't start a fight. 10 minutes later, they came back in, cool as ever. My boyfriend grabbed my hand and said, "Let's get out of here." We left, and the rest of the week was a blast. He paid for everything. We partied, laughed, and for a while, I forgot about the theft. It wasn't until the end of the trip that I learned the truth. We were at the airport in Brownsville, waiting for our flight home. My boyfriend leaned back in his chair, smirking, and said, "Oh, by the way, Drugs is screwed." I blinked. "What do you mean?" That's when he told me. He and his brother had filled the gas tank of that truck with sand. Not sugar, not water. Sand. The kind of thing that doesn't just make a car cough, but absolutely destroys an engine. He told me flat out, that truck isn't making it home. And sure enough, he was right. 2 days later, my roommate came to me with wide eyes. "Have you heard what happened to the guys?" she asked. I played dumb. "No, what?" Her jaw dropped as she told me. The truck had broken down barely an hour after leaving South Padre, completely dead on the side of the road. They spent 2 extra days stuck there, scrambling to fix it. Mechanics had to clear the fuel lines, replace the pump, and eventually replace the entire engine, thousands of dollars down the drain. And Drugs? His dad was livid. He took the truck away completely, revoked his driving privileges, and made him pay for the repairs. That $300 he stole from me, it cost him a truck, his freedom, and his father's trust. I'll never forget that feeling, knowing that he thought he got away with stealing from me, only to find out his own arrogance had just cost him everything. The image of him sitting there, stoned and broke, while his dad reamed him out for destroying a truck, that was worth every penny I lost. Sometimes revenge doesn't have to come from you directly. Sometimes karma just needs a little push, and the universe handles the rest. You want to steal from people? You better be ready to pay the real price. Guys, if this story gave you chills, smash that like button and drop a comment. What would you do if someone stole your? And don't forget to hit subscribe, because I've got even more wild revenge stories coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.